Greetings, my name is Cubu. Name I was christened with, Cubu Francis. I own Drought Farm. Right now, I do small farming, small crops farming. I grow some vegetables. One season, according to the season and the weather, grow peppers, greens such as kale, collards, mustard greens. We grow things such as chive, pepper, thyme. We grow fruits such as gooseberry, mangoes, bananas, golden apples. State of agriculture in the Virgin Islands is very poor, you know. It's something that has been shunned for a long time and put on the side. Our parents tried to get us out of agriculture because they felt as a people we needed to be more, technical people, such as doctors and lawyers, you know. But that created a problem because then we had very few farmers. So our situation right now in the islands is deplorable when it comes to agriculture, and it's a fight to keep it alive.
Yeah, that's real. I see that a lot growing up. People like kind of looking up to some career fields, like you mentioned, and down on others, and nobody really want to get dirty anymore.
And you realize in the Virgin Islands right now, everybody comes in here to make money. Because we're going to plumbers, we're going to electricians, we're going to mechanics, we're going to tradespeople. Because we send all our youth to college, you know. Along with agriculture and everything else, we have to be more far-sighted, you know. Who really makes the money is those who come in and do trades, you know. We need more tradesmen in the island, we need more farmers, we need more skilled people.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what opportunities do you see for the USVI agriculture in the future?
The sky is the limit. Right now, like I said, we're in a bad situation because we don't have many youths, young people who are involved in the industry. All the farmers on board are 65 years and say 60 years and up, you know. So in that way, it's dim. But the potential is there because we are putting an infrastructure. The beginning of our infrastructure. We have created a border market. We have clean land and put in irrigation system. We have worked on the dams and the roads. So we have done quite a bit of work. And if anytime the young people decide to make it up and go with it is a lot easier now to be involved in agriculture than before. And saying that, agriculture doesn't only need farmers. We need technicians, we need engineers, you know. We need all the different skills that are required to make our agricultural industry work.
Right. I see a lot of hope because UVI just implement that new agricultural science degree, and they have a whole department of agriculture at UVI itself. I could only imagine the impact that will have for generations to come, even though it's new today. So do you see any opportunities there to, say, collaborate with the upcoming generation and kind of make sure they have access to those opportunities here in Bodo and stuff?
The program and UVI has been, needed for a long time. I think it is a good step. The next few years going to tell a lot about how important it's going to be, how pertinent it will be, because at the bottom line, agriculture needs people with hands in the ground. So for the university to work with the Department of Agriculture and actually have young farmers and plants putting into practice what they study in his university. Well, then we have all the members of We Grow Food, all the Bolo farmers have been here for a long time to help out and give whatever assist they could, you know. But the bottom line on being this program, are they going to put any farmers on the ground?
Right.
It sounds good, but until you put 15, 20 farmers on the ground, I don't really see it probably going to help.
That's real. So what do you think are some of the most pressing issues facing farmers today here in the VI?
Our biggest issue has been the same issue for the last 30 plus years. You know, our lack of water. You know, there is no farmer, I don't care how good he is, how much skill, technology, all you know, you can't grow food without water. You know, that's just the basic, the fundamental, necessary ingredient to grow any crop. Any crop. We need to have a substantial water infrastructure put in place, you know. That has been the cry for the longest while. After the water, now you could work on getting farmers and the land, and you could work on all the other technical things such as putting in the irrigation systems, you know. You have to work on your fence, and of course your fencing have to go up before, you know. But right now, the water can't sustain a few farmers that are here trying to do a thing in Bodo. And we who farm, I don't water fruit trees. I barely water fruit trees. I water my small crops and I don't have enough water for that. So water is a crying issue, and until we could figure out the water situation, nothing gets better.
So I heard you talk about like irrigation systems as well. Have y'all tried any? Like what has been most successful? Have you learned in the process?
My history is in horticulture. My background is in horticulture. My background is in horticulture, where I came from working with plants. And my specialty, my job was an irrigation specialist. That was my job. So we have implemented drip systems down here. We have implemented mist systems, and for whichever farmer desires and have the hardware, could afford the hardware or get the hardware. When I say hardware, I mean pipes, fittings, you know. The skill is here for us to put in irrigation system at any level, you know. The bottom line being that even like I have irrigation system. I have it off 80-90% of the time on the fruit trees because there is no water to run it. And if I run the irrigation on the fruit trees, I have no water left for the nursery and the small crops.
Yeah.
But we have done irrigation. We have We Grow Food as part irrigation and irrigation supplies, and that's distributed to farmers. You know. So yes, we are very well aware of the irrigation, and we try to use it as much as we could. But the bottom line is, even the irrigation cuts your usage of water substantially. Yeah. So even though the use of irrigation supply, irrigation, whether drip or sprinklers, or cut your water usage dramatically, you still need a substantial amount of water to do this work.
Right. Have there been any crops that have been that say thrive better in this drier climate that we have down here?
There are definitely varieties of crops that do better in warm weather. You could buy kale. Say kale, for instance, you could have kale that does better in cold weather, varieties. You have a variety of kale that does better in warm weather. You have varieties of pepper that do better in cold weather, varieties that do better in warm weather. So we have the varieties, and definitely we have some varieties from out through the Caribbean, whether from St. Kitts or from Antigua, and definitely we move slips back and forth in spite of what custom may say. We do not sit back and forth, you know. So we do have crops that can deal with the weather. But saying that doesn't take away that they need water too.
Right.
You know, they could survive in that weather, but you still have to water them every day, every other day.
Right. How do you feel about, say, the process of just transporting food across customs and kind of like the barriers that poses for us, not just as a U.S. territory, but just also as a Caribbean island?
It creates a problem. The problem being the inability of the Virgin Island government to dictate their own terms, set their own path. We have done business with the Caribbean islands as one who has grown in these islands. With them we were youth, we had boats coming in from Dominica, St. Kitts, Tola. All those islands came and they dropped off stuff and we bought stuff from them and you know,
Since the beginning.
St. Croix sent produce all over. With the advent and the restrictions of the U.S. customs and immigration, our restriction from doing any business or trading with other Caribbean islands, it leaves us in a position where we are only left to get food from one place, which is the U.S. of A. I don't see that being something that is good, but it all have to do with the people of the U.S. Virgin Islands decided that they want to determine their own future, to change their status. Because we live here, people like to say we're American citizens. Really, you read a book, you realize we are not really American citizens. We have to determine our status eventually so we can make decisions on who we're going to trade with and who we're going to do business with.
Right. That's real. Let's see here. How do you feel like the Lord, I have so much mosquitoes out here. Like,
They ain't bad now. Where's the night come?
no, I could be gone by then. But what do you think the role of the USVI Department of Agriculture and Government is with helping the farmers and the farming community down here?
Is or should be?
Whichever way you decide to answer.
Okay, I'll ask it as the way you ask. I'll answer it as the way you ask the question.
Okay.
The role of the Virgin Islands Agriculture Department, as far as I have seen in my dealing with them, is to set rules and restrictions. Rules, restrictions, and regulations. That is just seems to be their sole function, you know. Set rules, regulation, make sure we pay whatever fees they could have incurred.
Right. Wow. And I guess how has like we're coming out of the pandemic kind of. How do you feel like even that has affected your operations as a farmer here in the territory or in the community?
The pandemic was, as they call it, the pandemic. Economically, we made money during the pandemic. Because all of a sudden everybody wanted to be healthy and eat healthy. So a lot of people came down and was buying the herbs, the greens, the tea bush, you know. Everybody wanted to be healthy, and our community never suffered illness, as far as I know, throughout the pandemic. I don't know no farmer, you know. At least we had no great quantity of farmers that ever had the COVID, you know. So it slowed down stuff in the way of you could get around and everything, and what you could do in ordering and buying and them kind of stuff. But for the market it was the lack of water, but a good thing. Because the market sales picked up and people all of a sudden wanted the stuff that you were telling them was important for all the years.
Right. I think it could, I think the pandemic definitely highlighted kind of the need to be healthy, yes, but also what a lot of people don't realize is it interrupted the way we get food, like how you mentioned. So people had no choice but to really rely on local farmers. So things can be blessings in disguise, yeah.
And when you went to the casino, when you were in the store, you could see even up to now the shelves the stores didn't finish and we found the shelves stacked as they used to be.
Right.
You know? And I believe we're going to continue to receive a lower grade of food for a long time. You got the war in Russia and Ukraine, which is cut back on the grain and the wheat. You have all those weather problems in the States. We talk about Las Vegas, Nevada, California, the Lake Mead situation. For this lake that was going to be dependent upon forever, right now it's down. And they're talking about cutting water, severe cuts to all those states who produce food. And all the farmers have to make severe cuts too. So eventually we have to make a decision how we can survive. Because everybody's going to take care of themselves before they send anything to us.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you here today and your opinions. I know a lot of people will enjoy this conversation for sure, and I hope they learn a lot from it as well.
Yeah, thank you. And the bottom line is always to promote the growth and development of agriculture as an industry and as a lifestyle. Everybody in the VI is blessed with beautiful weather and environment and could grow something, whether in the yard or the porch. So take it up as a promotion. Grow some food and live.